Hey there everyone, today is a very interesting day because Hurricane Dorian is churning off the coast of Florida as we speak right now. Very interesting storm. It's actually caused Disney to shut down most of the parks, and I'm after work right now, so Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom are all shut down right now. Epcot is staying open until 7 p.m., so we've only got a few hours here to see what Epcot is like in preparation for a hurricane. Time is now 5 o'clock. The park officially closes in 2 hours. Still a lot of people coming in and out of Epcot. I double-checked the weather, double-checked where the hurricane is. There is no danger at the moment. Just got to make sure I leave on time, and I will, because safety is the most important. The wind is definitely blowing, but the park is still wide open. Plenty of guests waiting to get in. There's even a sign that says Park Advisory closes at 7 p.m. Even as I walk in now, there are guests walking in and plenty walking out. We're gonna take a look around and see how Epcot prepares for the hurricane. All these walls are still up here. Some of the walls and fences around the outside, where it's kind of easy to take down, those are already down, but these ones that are gonna stick around, they're still there. Taking a look at wait times right now, 5 minutes for Spaceship Earth, 5 minutes for Mexico, 35 minutes for Frozen Ever After, 5 minutes for Imagination, 20 minutes for Soarin'. Wow. Judging by the weather right now, you wouldn't expect there's a hurricane right off the coast, but don't be fooled. Those hurricanes come on you very quickly, and we've seen this one coming for a while, so no one should be surprised by it. Wind is picking up a little bit. You can see even the pin station right here still set to go. They're still distributing pins. They'll bring everything inside later on. Now, we've seen Hurricane Dorian go from a level 5, Hurricane 4, 3, and I think it's now a 2, which means that it's not nearly as dangerous as it could have been, 5 or a 4, but still dangerous. So Disney's taking the precautions that are needed, but not everything is wrapped up. You can see the umbrellas right there are zipped up with zip ties. There's still things out and about. With less than 2 hours left before Epcot, the final Disney park, closes before the hurricane, I'm surprised at how many people are here. There are more people than I thought there would be. You can see there's even a line for Flavors from Fire. Surprising. Here we are in the next Eat section. You can see there are still plenty of people here. Definitely not as crowded as it could be. I've seen it far more crowded than this, especially for the Food and Wine Festival. But I have a feeling in the next 2 hours, we're gonna see the crowds diminish and diminish and diminish. Almost 5:10 now, and you can see these shops right here on both sides have already brought their curtains down. Everything's been closed up here by the DVC kiosk. The water is turned off over here. They're getting ready. Take a look right over there. You can see some of the construction happening here at Epcot in preparation for all the big things that are happening in the future. And the tarp that sat in front of the chain link fence right there is on the ground, kind of in a cylinder right there. So they've wrapped it all up so it can't be taken away by the winds.
Tonight, Epcot will remain open until 7 p.m. with a selection of attractions, entertainment, merchandise, dining, and festival offerings available. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day here at Epcot.
There's that announcement right there letting us know that a few attractions and exhibits are still open all the way until 7 p.m. If I didn't know any better, I would say it's just another day at Epcot. Problem is, it's quieter than normal, and we do know better. There is a hurricane coming. Now, I personally believe that if we saw a Category 5 hurricane headed our way right now, Disney would have removed quite a bit of this right here for the festival, because it can just damage things way too easily. Since it's not really going to impact as much as we thought, they're staying up. 5:15 now, festival shop closed. Shimmering Sips closed. Take a look right over here, right next to Australia, wrapped up in preparation for the big storm. Festival Market closed. Canada Pavilion closed right there. Take a look at that. Everything inside wrapped up with saran wrap. Popcorn cart right here outside of Les Celliers is still open, but several of the merchandise carts are closed. Festival Market outside of Canada closed. Joffrey's Coffee outside of the UK Pavilion open. Ireland booth open. It's interesting, for the booths that are open, the outside kiosks right there where you accept money usually in the lines are all taken down. You actually pay right there at the same window where they make the food. The biggest surprise to me here are the number of people. There are still plenty of people here in England. The Yorkshire County Fish Shop is also still open. I'm sure it's going to slow down soon. Hopefully. That's a bit of a shock right there. The pin kiosk right across the way from England and France is open. PhotoPass photographers still out taking photos. I'm starting to notice a subtle difference in the sky. Nice blue skies right over there. That doesn't look so nice on that side. That's scary sky. France kiosk right behind me is still open. Most of this area in France is open. You've got these kiosks right here, including the crepe station still open. They even have their rope extensions out right there. Brazil is still wide open with a long line right there, maybe for the pork belly or perhaps the pico de gallo. It is wide open. You can see all the tables where we were sitting last time. Those are all gone. I can tell the wind has started to shift here. It probably looks and sounds more windy. Belgium also wide open. Rope extensions still there too. Vice Road Table is currently wrapping up their tables. They're actually bringing the tables and chairs inside right now in preparation. This is very interesting right here. Take a look. These lanterns are wrapped up with that saran wrap to make sure they don't shatter when they are knocking around in the wind. Very smart. The tables and chairs though are still out. Those will no doubt be brought in shortly. You can see all of the musicians' chairs right there are all gone, but these super heavy brick stools right here still there. Not surprised by that. Morocco still open. Festival shop next to Morocco closed. Amazing how fast that wind has increased. Again, I continuously am checking the forecast. We are not in danger right now. I know it can change drastically, but you got to pay close attention. Safety is number one. I am treating it as number one, but we are here to see what's going on for the hurricane. The Japan kiosk right here, open. I would try that frothy ramen, really do want to try it, but I won't without David. He wants to try it too. The drummers are still playing here in Japan, sounding great. PhotoPass still out. It's great to see they still have the entire feel of the Food and Wine Festival out for guests all the way until 7. That's nice. Funnel Cake Kiosk is open. Block and Hans is still open. The American Adventure Pavilion looks totally different for the Food and Wine Festival. They've wrapped everything up in preparation for those big winds. And you can see right here at Hops and Barley, not open. Everything's closed and wrapped up in there too. It's interesting, even the lights right there by the American Adventure Pavilion, they wouldn't be swinging, but they're wrapped in saran as well to make sure that, I'm guessing if something small kind of bumps into them with the wind, they're protected as well. Interesting to see. It's funny, as I'm walking by the American Gardens Theater, I keep thinking of the Scorpions song, Rock You Like a Hurricane. No reason. Almost 5:30 now, and take a look. Fife and Drum Tavern still open, but crowds still relatively heavy for what I would expect. Joffrey's Coffee outside of the American Adventure Pavilion also closed. You can hear that wind picking up now. Yeah, it's definitely getting closer. World Showcase Lagoon looks great, but you can see most of those barges out there are not here, as you would expect. Very empty right now. I'm glad Disney is taking every precaution because you never know how strong it could get. It could upgrade from a 2 to something else. At the time that you're seeing this, you already know what happened, but it's good to see. From here, it looks like most of the Italy Pavilion is still relatively open. Chairs are still out there. I'm sure they're going to be bringing those in soon. And the Italy kiosk for the Food and Wine Festival is opened. Even has a line right there. I will definitely be getting some food from the Food and Wine Festival while I'm here, but nothing that David hasn't already tried. I want him to have the opportunity to try some of the items with me. The Spain kiosk for the Food and Wine Festival is all wrapped up, not serving at the moment. Very interesting. The glass house here, where they have a very, very fragile glass, is wrapped up with what looks like black tape, black bags. Very interesting how they've done that to make sure it's super safe. Most of the Germany pavilion looks like it's actually closed at the moment, and unfortunately, so is the Krummelkuchen. Germany kiosk for the Food and Wine Festival is closed. Brewers Collection also closed. 2 more festival markets closed. Africa kiosk closed. Would you look at this by the Refreshment Outpost? These areas have just nothing. There's no tables, no chairs. Nothing has been totally cleared out in preparation for the big storm. Even over there, the face painting area, totally cleared out. Wow. Even though the areas outside the Refreshment Outpost are closed and totally gone, the Refreshment Outpost itself is still serving. I could go for a panna cotta. Maybe. Oh, I could also go for protein, so probably loaded mac and cheese or crab cake. The overall feeling at Epcot right now is a state of calm. I really have not felt panic from any guests. Guests know what is coming. Disney has been super open about what is coming, what they're planning for. They're taking every precaution they can. They kept the park open as long as they could. They actually extended the park hours, so I don't feel panic from anyone around me. It's general calm feeling. People are getting as much magic as they can before the storm comes and kind of rains us out for a day. Take a look at the China Pavilion right here. The lamps are coated in that saran wrap right here. The kiosk itself is still open, but the World Showcase area closed. Less than an hour and a half left of Epcot park time. Still a considerable line for China. Wow. You wouldn't think that a hurricane is coming from views like this. Super magical, but hurricane's coming, and it's no joke at all. Frozen Ever After is still open, and last time I checked, it looked like a 30-minute wait, which is so short. The Scandinavian draft beer cart right there, still open. The Royal Summer House with a meet and greet with Anna and Elsa, unfortunately, is closed. It's understandable, though. Merchandise area here outside of Mexico is open. You can see those lights also covered in that saran wrap again. Even these totally stationary lights right here, totally covered in that saran wrap. It's good for safety. Now that I think about it, I would imagine that that's in case that glass breaks, it doesn't fly everywhere. That makes a lot of sense. Churrosa de Margarita is still open, and so is the Cantina. Still open over here. Mexico kiosk still open. Festival shop right outside of the Mexico kiosk is closed. Thailand is closed. Islands of the Caribbean is closed, but I gotta tell you, overall, I am super impressed and happily surprised at the number of kiosks that are still open. Just think about it from the guests and Disney's point of view. If you're a guest who's come to Disney just from anywhere in the world to experience the Food and Wine Festival, you don't want it to be closed, or for most of it to be closed, for the one day that you've set aside for the Food and Wine Festival. So I think it's super nice that Disney has this many open. Overall, super excited to be here right before a hurricane, and I'm very impressed with what Disney has done. I've heard they're already going out of their way to make sure the guests at the resorts and all throughout are having a good time and are taken care of. And I gotta tell you, that's probably the safest place to be in a hurricane, is at home or at a Disney resort, safe and sound. And so I think it's smart that Disney closed the parks when they did. One of David and my favorites at the Food and Wine Festival is closed, all prepped, wrapped up, ready for the hurricane. Wine and Dine Cheese Studio and Chocolate Studio, they're all closed, and even those gates over there are closed, so they're getting ready. I'm feeling hungry just before the hurricane. It's gonna be crab cake today. Let's make it the crab cake. Taking a look at the sky above, there used to be some blue sky. Some of it's over there still, a little bit, but most of it has started to turn to this grayer sky over there. It's coming. Just thinking about that crab cake. Yum.
Love that shirt.
Thank you very much.
My family always says thanks for the nation.
Yeah, there you go. One of my all-time favorites at the Food and Wine Festival, the crab cake from Coastal Eats. As good as ever. Tasting it now, I'm thinking about the loaded mac and cheese, and it might be the new champion. It might be. It's really close. It's a tie. It depends on how I'm feeling in the day. I might actually get some of that as well today, just because we're here, but yum. I love it. Don't get me wrong, but the more and more I eat it, the more I feel like it's actually second to the loaded mac and cheese. I know, big change, but it's important. It's important to like different things. That was delicious, but you know what would hit the spot right now? One of those slushies from Club Cool. I'm not sure if it's still open because it officially closes at 8 or 7, I don't remember, but the time is now 5:49, so maybe it closes at 6. Let's go find out. 5:50 now, take a look at those crowds. Yep, it's starting to clear out. My bet is that it is closed, and I would be correct. Club Cool is closed. That's okay, next time. Not on the hurricane note, but I really do miss the light lab. I hope that we see something like it in the future. Starbucks is still open, so I think I'm gonna get a quick treat from there. Maybe Frappuccino, maybe not, I'm still deciding. Frappuccino would be great, but the very, very hibiscus is far fewer calories and super good, so I think I'm gonna go with that one. And I know what you're thinking, Michael, Disney calories don't count. It's a hurricane, so it's a special reason why they count, maybe. I also live here, so, you know, I have to count them. On second thought, how about the pumpkin spice cold brew? That sounds pretty good. Wow, first time trying the pumpkin spice cold brew. That is delicious. Oh my God. Just about 6 o'clock now and the crowds are definitely thinning up. Just took a look at the radar while I was waiting for my coffee, and I found that Dorian is off the coast. He's swirling out there, but the arms of Dorian, those rain bands, aren't quite far enough to reach us yet. Looked at some of the future cast and it says we're gonna get rain, a lot of it, starting at about 9 p.m. tonight going through tomorrow. So it's gonna be a lot of rain, but for now, looks pretty clear. The rest of Epcot actually feels quiet compared to this area, which at the moment is super quiet for the Next Eats area, but few guests around. I'm actually gonna go get that loaded mac and cheese. It is my current #1 at the Food and Wine Festival. Loaded mac and cheese from Active Eats, my current #1 pick from the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival 2019. It's that good. It is deserving of the #1 spot. Crab cake is right underneath it at the moment. Right underneath. Love that one too, but can't get enough of this. Even with Hurricane Dorian just knocking on our door, This warms me up inside. Yum. Time is now 6:12 in the evening, and there's still a bit of a crowd around Epcot, Future World, and the World Showcase. I'm gonna take another quick look around, and then we are going to play it safe and head on back. But this is really cool to see. Disney's getting ready for that big storm. 6:16, take a look at that line for Flavors from Fire. Still pretty long, and 45 minutes left in the park. Wow. Nice blue skies right over there. Turning around, it's nice and gray right behind me. So it's definitely moving quicker now. You can actually see the clouds moving very, very fast. So 45 minutes left in the park. Makes sense. Shocking to see PhotoPass still out and about. I'm happy to see it, but a little shocked. Monorail is still running with about 40 minutes left. It's a great day. It's a fantastic day to be here. It's just what's coming is not so fantastic. For some reason, I just love being here on days like today. It feels historic. It feels different. It's not the norm, and I love it. I'm still shocked at the number of people here. Almost 30 minutes left before Epcot closes, and there's still a ton of people around me. Even though there are still a lot of people inside Epcot right now, I know that this area right here, which is the Fast Pass viewing area, is usually pretty empty. If you're looking for kind of an empty shot, even when there are crowds all over the place, this is a good spot to come to. Wind is picking up now, 6:26. Okay, more of those lights wrapped up right by Canada. You can see these are kind of held to the poles right there. See that? Again, I believe that is so that if it does break, and hopefully it won't since it's tied up like that, the glass won't go everywhere, which I think is genius. Wildlife doesn't seem to be too affected by the hurricane that's coming. They probably know that it's coming. Time is now 6:59 and Epcot is 60 seconds away from closing. I want to make sure I'm not the last guest here because I want to make sure those cast members get home with plenty of time. Hurricane Dorian is basically right there, so it is right around the corner. This has been an unreal experience just to be here in preparation for a big storm and Disney closing early. It doesn't happen often at all. So glad I had the opportunity to share it with you. Wow. 7:01 p.m. I am not the last guest in the park. Everybody's making their way out now to ensure that we're safe. The rain has not started yet, so that's a really good forecast prediction by Disney and everyone else. We're all safe. We're all headed home right now. I would say wind gusts are now maybe 10, maybe 15 miles an hour. It's gonna get even more intense as the night progresses. Spaceship Earth, be safe in the storm. It's gone through much, much worse, so it's gonna be just fine. And just like that, Epcot has closed for the day in preparation for Hurricane Dorian. Message of the day, be safe no matter what the storm looks like. Safety is the #1 priority. Thank you so much for sharing in the magic with me today. It was so much fun sharing it all with you. Until next time, have a magical day.